Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about the optimal ownership of a Dungeons and Dragons book, which have now achieved. All right, so I bought Dragonlance Shadow the Dragon Queen for $77, and I now have the book fully, right? And the reality is, I think, so basically the thing that's changed is Hasbro is now selling Dungeons and Dragons books as digital and physical bundles. They did not, that has never happened before. Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen, so that is a Dungeons and Dragons historical event, right? And frankly, and I've gone through this, this process. I paid $77 all in, shipped everything, and I now own the physical Dungeons and Dragons Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen book. I own the D&D Beyond electronic version, and I own the exact same book in the physical version. And it has been a journey, right? Like it was kind of uncomfortable, right? Like there was not a lot of good information about the order, and frankly, without a doubt, Hasbro doesn't hold a candle to Amazon when it comes to shipping. With Amazon, I know where it is at every step of the way. It arrives on time. That did not happen with Hasbro. I got the physical book, I got the electronic book, but the journey to it was very uncomfortable, right? But now that I have it all, it is the best possible ownership of a Dungeons & Dragons book I have ever enjoyed, right? And the reason why is until I really had a book in this way, I didn't understand how many benefits there are to each, right? Now, first of all, I would never trade an electronic version for a physical version, but I very much enjoy owning the electronic version in addition to the physical version. So one thing that shocked me was I was reading with my early access Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen on D&D Beyond, and it just didn't feel right. In fact, it was pretty horrible compared to having the physical book. And the reason why is they just take all the art and chop it up and throw it in among the text, right? And I was kind of like, this is like if somebody served you a meal and they put every single thing on a different plate, and every single plate was like on a different plate, and so there were like 7 plates in front of you, right? That's not how a meal's constructed. It's wrong. It doesn't feel right, right? Like somebody, when you say something, make me a plate, right? The mac and cheese is on there, and the turkey's on there, and the gravy is on there, and and the mashed potatoes are on there, and they mix a little, right? Like, and that's when you say make me a plate, you get a plate, right? Like, and that's the issue is in D&D Beyond. I can't believe how much storytelling is being told in the physical books with just the 2-page layout, right? When you open the book and you see that 2-page layout, and and the text for the person is right there next to their art, right? And even beyond that, even like just the subtle, like, this text is separated from this art by a band of some type of visual construction, right? And that band could literally just be the colors of Ansalon's flag, right? But those subtle things, the physical books are just so good, right? Here's now, so I'm not coming at you like some, old grognard going, oh, physical books beat the electronic edition. Because one of the reasons why I'm so happy to own the electronic edition is the electronic edition is always, always, always with me. That's huge. That is a huge deal, right? So while I would never do my initial read through on D&D Beyond, there's so many advantages to having that electronic version, right? So one of the advantages is it's literally always with me, because my phone is always with me, just like you, right? Like, I was going to say unless you're homeless, right? But even homeless people in America frequently have phones, like a lot, like most of the time. I think even homeless people now have mobile phones, right? So the reality is, it is always on me. That is huge, and the physical book can never do that. Another one is my wife. She's like, hey, Scott, go get some milk from the store, right? And like, normally that's not going to be a pleasant outing. I don't want to get milk from the store, right? But I just go right on D&D Beyond, right? And I pull out whatever chapter I'm about to run next week, and I dump it, and I just copy the text, which they allow me to do on D&D Beyond, and for that page, and I dump it right into my reader, and my phone electronically reads the chapter to me. Physical book ain't gonna ever read the chapter to me, right? So I'm extremely excited about this Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. I own the physical edition, I own the electronic edition, and I'll tell you right now, I ain't never going back. This is how I want it going forward. I want the best of both worlds, and that's where we've arrived, which is really exciting that Wizards of the Coast has given us these digital physical bundles. Their execution of it is not even remotely perfect, right? But overall, I'm very happy with the end result. I just wasn't happy with the journey getting there. But we will get there, and I think Hasbro will get better, and that's good. And so I appreciate you letting me share this experience. Like, the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen is part of Dungeons & Dragons history now. Like, and I don't think, and anybody who went through the experience I went through, they never going back to owning one or the other, right? It's just such a rich experience on the other side of it. Once the journey's finished and you're at the destination, it's unbeatable, right? And so I'm really excited about it, and I'm thrilled to have my physical copy and be able to read through and really capture everything in Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. So that's my take. What's your experience? What do you think? Have you had this before, where you own the physical and you own the electronic edition? Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.